Hey, yo, what's poppin', gamers? WQ'd, guys. Now make sure to subscribe right now. This could change your life forever. In fact, it will change your life. Hit the subscribe button and you become an alpha gamer, guys. Now, a lot of alpha gamer things have happened yesterday, and we're going to talk about this stuff right now, so make sure to subscribe. But gamers, first of all, we need to talk about CDGxc. He got obliterated. He got reverse thought patrolled this week, and I think it's very sad. Now, the thing is, guys, he got banned from Games Done Quick over a almost certainly false sexual harassment claim that was made against him. Games Done Quick flat out banned him without really looking into the case, and really didn't think twice about this one. Now, that's interesting, but if you really care about that, that's the second time GDQ has basically ignored the actual case and banned somebody for a seemingly dubious sexual harassment or sexual assault claim. Back in summer, Games Done Quick, 2018, a guy named Sarium actually got banned from GDQ for a similar sexual assault claim that really held no weight. And then several months went by, and it seemed like every single day that went by, the person who made the claim continually felt more and more regret, and then claimed that they themselves are a rapist eventually, and then eventually started saying they felt very bad. Now, that situation that happened in AGDQ 2018. If you're interested in that, guys, go Google it. But GDQ basically banned the guy. They did not look into the case. They did nothing to the person that made the claim. They did the exact same thing here. So this is the second time Games Done Quick has just banned somebody for no reason. Now, guys, this case of CDG making this paste bin and getting banned is just ludicrous. The actual story is completely absurd, but it gets even funnier because what happened was the person who made the claim this time, she was actually banned 2 days prior to this because she was trying to hang out in the practice room with last year's pass, and when people found out, she got banned, and then she tried to make herself look like a victim on Twitter. But it's like, you clearly were lying. You were clearly trying to get through into the event without actually paying. Like, come on, get out of here. So she's actually banned for 2 years before all this. So gamers, CDG actually deleted a majority of the screenshots of his DMs, and I think he deleted them because these screenshots made this guy look so beta and desperate that I think he doesn't want to live with the baggage of having that online. So he actually deleted a majority. So I don't really want to talk about them too much because they are deleted screenshots and they were DMs. So we're not going to go too much into the exact details, but I'll show you guys some really ridiculous screen caps that I took. And guys, we're also going to talk about the real implications of this. So make sure to subscribe if you're really trying to become an alpha gamer and not only get more girls in your phone, but get better at gaming. Make sure to hit that subscribe button because we're going to go into the details of what really happened here. So the most important thing about this whole situation, CDG, if you're watching this, you need to work on your game because your game in these DMs, and I read the whole thing, it's extremely weak. It's extremely desperate. You got to step that up. You got to work on that because as an alpha gamer, as somebody who's trying to teach gamers to become more alpha and learn how to control their gameplay and level up their behaviors and level up their life, I can't be having this, bro. I can't be seeing you go out there completely desperate. And if you read these DMs, guys, a little effeminate. Now, guys, not only that, multiple times in these DMs, the accuser, Marimba, she actually multiple times says, like, I need to be dominated. I need you to dominate me sexually. I need you to take control and slap my ass. I want to be yours. I'm your little toy. She literally said this, right? And still he refused to actually take control of the situation. Now, maybe he didn't like her, but that's the whole point of being a little bit more alpha CDG, because if you don't like a girl, don't get involved, don't get interested. Why would you fly a girl out? It doesn't matter how much you put money down, a lot of money, you didn't really know her. Why would you fly her out and try to cuddle with her if you don't like her? So obviously you liked her at some level. Now, if you liked her at some level, why aren't you taking control of her? Maybe you're wary of girls that put out when you're not even dating. I agree with you on that one, CDG. But then why are you trying to cuddle with her? Because obviously there's implications. Obviously something's going to happen. I don't care if you have insomnia. No sane person in their 20s that's flying to GDQ, especially if it's a girl being flown out, thinks that cuddling a week straight, there's no implications behind that. I mean, come on, dude. Get real. Dude, she literally says, just tell me what to do. I'll be your little sex toy for the week. Literally, she said that. She also said, I don't care about the event anymore. I just want to hang out with you or something, or to have sex with you or something. Here's another hilarious text. So this is from her. She says, I kind of like to be dominated, but don't hit my face, lol. IDK, I just turn on super easily. So if it's just normal fucking, I'm totally happy with that too, lol. Come on, guys. What the hell is this guy, CDG, doing? Flopping around? The girl's basically throwing herself at him. He can't even get laid. Like, what is wrong with this guy? So, gamers, I think this one sums up this whole thing the best, where this guy, CDG, he says, Mari, we'll go at whatever pace you're going to feel comfortable with. All right, kid? Okay, gamers, already a gigantic red flag from him. He's literally not dominating the conversation. He's not controlling the conversation. He's giving her way too much freedom and way too much power. And that is absurd because she's asking for him to dominate the situation. And I think they were both extremely desperate. And I think that they're less desperate, this whole thing would have been a little bit better. You can tell, though, this guy has no alpha genes in him at all. He also says, do you mind if I call you that when we're talking about stuff like this? What the hell do you even care about her opinion for? If you're an alpha gamer, if you're a man and you're flying somebody out, you're paying hundreds of dollars for them to cuddle with you for a week, what the hell do you care about their opinion in anything? Like, get real, dude. Just know that it's not going to be like we land off the plane, go to the hotel, and the first thing we do is that, referring to some kind of fucking... Don't let that be where your mind's going or whatever. Give me a freaking break, dude. And this is, guys, this is what dried her up. If you want to know, if you want to be real, what actually happened here, they were conversating. He dried her up. I'm going to quote my Discord. He dried her up like the Sahara Desert. She's kept pushing it, though. She's super desperate. Maybe there's a shot. You're getting a free plane ticket, too, right? They fight in GDQ. Apparently, she actually made the first move. And then she made the second move, and then the third move, all in about a 20-minute span. He never followed it up. I think she was completely dry at that point, completely turned off. This point, he's now a creep. I don't know how that works, guys. Women, they don't think logically. They think emotionally, though. So somehow he turned into a creep, and then she's talking to her friend. Most likely at that point, they decided it was sexual harassment. Game's done quick. Again, this is the second time. They don't care. They're not going to look into it. They just ban the guy. That's just what they do. So frankly, I don't really care too much about the GDQ banning. That is how GDQ runs. Everybody knows that. They've literally done this before. They're going to do it again in the future. It's just how it is. We need to talk about what's really important here, because I've seen this happen too much lately, guys. And another thing, a lot of you guys know what's been going on with me in the past several weeks with me and Twitter Girl. Now, guys, I've been making a lot of videos on this girl lately, and I'm just gonna call her Twitter Girl. So me and Twitter Girl, I made a lot of videos talking about her, and what happened with this girl is, at first I met her, I didn't really like her, I didn't really care. It's completely neutral. And then she started flirting with me. She was giving me lots of attention, lots of signals, and I'm like, okay, whatever. Maybe she's not that bad looking. Actually, she's pretty good looking. So then I was like, okay, sign me up. And then what happened was she started going cold on me. She started going cold on me, and she started she started ignoring me. And I'm thinking to myself, like, something's wrong here. Something's wrong here because there's no way in hell she's ignoring me. And actually, I was talking to her about it, and she was like pretending she wasn't ignoring me. So that like bothered me, right? And what happened is my anxiety started going way up, and I started going crazy. I started going really crazy, and I was having a hard time. I was like, I can't think. I was starting to like worship her. Like, I was freaking out. I was talking to my friends about it, and he said, no, this is what girls do. And then I started Googling how to handle these games, how to play these games girls play, and I did a lot of Googling, guys, and in the past 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks, I've completely transformed and leveled up my gameplay of dealing with women specifically, and I'm a lot better at this, and I understand a lot more of it. And to me, these games, these head games that girls play, it's extremely important. They're extremely important. They're extremely interesting. They're kind of fun. I got really good at these head games too, so it's like I actually kind of like these games. Now, this guy clearly has no understanding of these games at all, and clearly has weak game, and he's not getting laid anytime soon. So this third message really bothers me because literally when he says, just know that it's not going to be like we land off the plane, go to a hotel, and the first thing we do is that, right, girls want that. If a girl, well, okay, they want that if you can execute it right. But here's the thing. If a girl is really into you and she doesn't know what to expect and she's like really into you, that would turn her on. That would really turn her on. If she worships you, you know, imagine that. Like, she would be flooding down there. Saying that that's not going to happen, well, I don't know why you would say that. Literally, you're drawing her up in real time. No girl is going to be turned on by that at all. And it's not like they had a friendly relationship. If you're talking to a friend and you're saying weird flirty things and they don't like it, that's one thing. No, literally, she was saying, I'll be your little sex toy for the week. Like, be real, guys. And then he said this to her. So she's clearly getting very strange signals. So this is how a lot of women work. If you are sending her the right messages, or if you're ignoring her in the right way, your unavailability goes way up, right? Your availability goes down, and then what happens is you're actually more valuable because you respect your time, you're busy, you're doing things, you got a life, you become more interesting, you become more mysterious, right? Girls like that. So what happens is their anxiety goes up because they DM you and they don't know if they're going to get a response, right? You become more interesting, you become more valuable. So he basically broke every rule because at the start of the conversation, it was like, hey, how are you doing? You want to come to GDQ? I'll have an offer. You know, it's unorthodox. It's real unorthodox. But, you know, maybe it's just right for you. At the end of the conversation, they were talking about having tons of casual sex, BDSM, like weird stuff. That was a 3-hour conversation. And I want to show you some of these games these people play. No, that's totally fine. I mean, I still kind of want time to think about it all. You would just pay for my plane ticket, though? Hee. Come on, guys. She says, I want time to think about it. 20 minutes later, they're done. They're talking about hooking up. So she's lying when she says she wants time. But I think it was actually a smart move because what does it do? It increases her value and it makes him more interested in her. Now, the thing is, in my opinion, extremely blatant lie. I mean, come on, obviously, she doesn't need time to think about it. Like, that's not going to work on me. The only head games girls are playing with me, yeah, you need some good games. You need some really good games because I see through all that stuff now. Like, I'm not trying to brag, you know, I look good. Been working out a little bit lately, you know. But no, the reason I get girls, guys, it's 100% my personality. It's 100%. And now that I've buffed up my personality lately, because I understand these head games through and through, in and out, I understand the whole thing. I'm pretty much a high-class male now. I'm a high-value male specimen. And frankly, I think this is the direction I want to see more gamers go in because I think gamers are constantly putting themselves down and belittling themselves for absolutely no reason. Here's the reality, CDG. If you, at the very start of this whole thing, showed extreme caution, ignored her, just straight up ignored her, and questioned why she was even, accepted a ridiculous offer in the first place, her interest in you would have gone up a lot. Frankly, there's another big mistake you made. I'm going to show you guys this. This is a critical error. Never do this if you like a girl. He says a gigantic paragraph. No one's going to read that. And then she says, and I want to see everybody. Another obvious lie. Who cares? She just wants the free ticket. And then CDG, over the next 7 minutes later, he responds, normally I would say, good job. You held out. Problem is, he sent a gigantic essay. Literally, his whole pace spin on his whole life. he responded to her, and this is a gigantic problem. If you do that, she's aware that you spent the last 7 minutes writing up that paste bin. Literally the last 7 minutes, you were writing up that paste bin. She's aware of that. So you just wasted 7 minutes of your life, and she knows that she has your full undivided attention. So you've got nothing going on in your life. You're not busy. You're not doing anything. This is January 1st, by the way. You're not doing anything. You have no plans for the year. You're completely desperate to her. You're not talking to any other girls. So your male value isn't very high right now. That's what happens when you write a gigantic 7-minute paste bin. And then the ridiculous part is, she says one. I mean, how long this thing is ludicrous. She says one thing in response. I love the cuddle. You're completely under her control. She didn't read your message too, dude. 1 minute later, she responded to your book that you wrote. She did not read the whole thing, right? She was reading through it, and she wrote, I want to cuddle. Now, I blame her for being desperate here. I think if she was more sensible or had higher self-esteem, she would just block you and say you're weird. But no, that's not what happened, right? So she wrote one message. She hasn't finished reading your book. She said one more line. You send another book to her, dude. What the hell do you even send another book to her? I don't understand that. Maybe what happened is you wrote the whole thing and then you copy pasted the second part. Not a very good idea. That's an even worse idea, because that's like beyond just like really high energy. Like sometimes I'm high energy and I just like typing. Now that means you're like orchestrating the whole thing, dude. Really creepy. Really weird, really desperate. What I would do, not respond to her for 10 minutes. If you don't respond for 10 minutes when she's like, I don't know if it's a good idea or not, her anxiety starts to go up, dude, because now she might miss out on her free flight to AGDQ. She doesn't know if she might get that or not. She has all the power now. When you offer her a $500 flight and she says, oh, I don't know, she has the power. Reminder, you're giving her free money for no reason. She's like, I might deny it. That doesn't make sense, dude. She has too much power here. When she says, oh, I don't know, just ignore her for 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, just, why not? Because what happens is every single minute that goes by, she's wondering, did I say the wrong thing? Is he going to say no? Is he going to reject me? Your value starts to go up. Her perception of value, her power goes down. I'm not gonna say her value goes down. I think if your value goes up, her value goes up, right? Because think about it. She's talking to you. So her value, but her power goes down. And that's important, guys, and we're gonna get to that later. So what happens is her value goes down if you just ignore her. If you respond immediately, which is what you did, she has all the power. And then look what later you write this book, dude. You incriminate yourself. Already, this is a disaster. Now she has low self-esteem, so she's desperate. So what happens is she continues to talk to you, which is a horrible mistake for both of you. And yesterday was proof of that. Yesterday was proof of why this is such a big mistake, both of you guys talking. Later, you start writing emojis. And this is the most beta feminine move a guy can make. If you're trying to get laid, which is exactly what you were trying to do, if you're trying to fuck a girl or make her comfortable, never use an emoji. Why ever? How are you gonna turn a girl on an emoji? Even worse than that, you're using all the wrong emojis. You're using the insecurity emoji, you're using the blushing face, and you're using heart eyes emojis. What the hell, dude? No girl is gonna be turned on by these emojis, and I'm gonna show you later why that's actually so funny and a true statement. The thing about emojis, and I was talking about this on my stream, on my phone, guys, I literally don't know where the emojis are. I don't know how to find an emoji, and the few times in my life that I've used an emoji, I just click the happy face because I don't know where they are. I don't know how to use the interface. I literally have no clue. So if that guy's using heart eyes, an insecurity face, blushing face, and crying, waterfall crying face, he's used those emojis before. He either knows where they are, they're in his mostly commonly used, or he knows the names by heart. When I use an emoji in my tweets that go viral, my 50 like tweets, it takes me about 10 minutes to Google the emoji. I have to figure out the name. I have to Google it. I have to copy it. I don't know any of the names of any of these emojis. So I had to actually search them for about 10 minutes to Google them. I have no clue how to find an emoji. This dude's using it. He probably uses it all the time. Plus, you're using the most beta emojis. Heart eyes is not a fucking emoji that a guy needs to use. Same with insecurity face. Look, let the girl use insecurity face and let the girl use heart eyes. Never use insecurity face, dude. That's the worst one. Like, what are you doing, man? This is a major red flag. It's a major problem. And frankly, she 100% dry at this point. She's 100% dry, and I don't know why you're talking about this stuff. And then actually, she goes on to make the first move. She starts talking about being DTF, and there's a lot you can do with this, and frankly it wasn't all bad, but we're gonna get into some of the bad parts. One big problem here, CDG, you were actually talking a lot more than her. If you just look at the text conversation, you had about 3 times as much text as her. No girl likes it, okay? You're not turning girls on like that. Here's the thing about girls, who like talking, and they want to talk a lot more than you. If you're typing these gigantic paragraphs, it's not because she's uninterested, it's because you're insecure. Girls don't like guys that are insecure, especially if they're trying have sex with you, right? They don't want a guy that's crying, keeps talking, and is insecure. So you need to stop talking in the future, talk less, and make sure to space it out more, and you get more impact, you get more punch, and stop using emojis. That's going to help your game out a lot, and what's going to happen is you're going to start having better relationships with girls, and the ones that don't feel too good about themselves or whatever, they'll start worshiping you. Like, look, I'm not making this up, guys. Why does this guy get banned from GDQ? He didn't really even do anything wrong. Stivity Bobo literally commits adultery, gets a married couple that streams games on Twitch to get divorced or break up or what something, and he's fine. He gets another run in at the next GDQ, and then there's a joke. There was a joke donation submitted during his run. He made a little smirk.
Yeah, here's a good one. CMSVG gave us $50. Thank you, Sam. Hey guys, lost my wife this past June. She loved banjo speedruns, so here's some money for a great cause, a great game, and a great runner.
He's fine. He was not banned. GDQ ignores the whole thing. Why is he fine, but this guy gets permanently banned for no reason at all? It's because Stivity Bobo, he made all the right moves. And the girl was happy at the end of the day. That's ultimately what matters. She says, lol, yes, one slap on my ass and I'm yours. Okay, so when I was earlier talking about you need to dominate her, you need to control her, and you need to not be a beta soy boy, I'm not saying that because that's what other people say, and I wasn't saying that to insult your masculinity. I was saying that because she was trying to tell you that in the latter half of the conversation. She was directly trying to tell you that, and I'm telling you now. If you're not aware, she desperately wanted somebody, specifically you, to completely dominate her in the bed, in conversation, and in the relationship in general. And you completely failed to do that with your emojis, your long-ass, desperate-ass messages. Immediately, 1 minute after, half a minute after, ridiculous. Now, guys, the reason I know a lot of this stuff is because Twitter Girl has been using a lot of these tactics on me, and I almost caved in, and I almost gave up, broke to the anxiety. But then, instead of breaking to the anxiety, I started learning about the game, and then more interestingly, there's this thing called ego that I talked about in gameplay philosophy. I'm always talking about the gaming. That's how you become an alpha gamer. You overcome ego, because the beta gamers do what they do is they make a situation purposely fail, and then when they fail, they make excuses, and basically they wanted to fail. They wanted to fail, so they intentionally. They're called intentionally failing, right? It's called beta gaming, and you'll see this happen all the time. And one way people do this is they create a clique. Cliques are designed to lose. They're output based, and so what happens is they then fail. They get their clique. The clique agrees with you. The clique, we got your back, dude. Well, the clique is worthless, right? The clique has your back because you failed. If you were succeeding, they would be against you. That's why you often see people who are succeeding on their own, and then the people in the clique loves them, but nobody else helps them. It happens very frequently. Well, that is where alpha gaming and beta gaming comes from. But the truth is, ego is very similar in the dating world, because what happens is girls and guys too, happens for men too, but mostly for women, they get a lot of available partners online. I mean, you have a girl go on Tinder or go on Twitter, and hundreds of guys will just constantly give her attention. Guys don't quite get the same attention. In fact, go to pretty much any stream page, any YouTube channel, it's mostly dudes especially in speedrunning, especially in gaming. And that's one reason I really like speedrunning and gaming. It's so fresh. It's so fresh and new. So you have tons of young single men, and they got no attention. And then there's one girl who comes along, and they all flock to her. That's really interesting. But the thing about ego is, when a girl gets all this attention, how does she sort through it? How does she filter it out, right? She plays these head games with people. And certain girls do it differently. That's fine. People have their different interests, right? And actually, this is part of the reason, if you're watching this and you're a guy in your 20s or whatever, you need to start learning how to play these games, and then you need to start beating girls at these games, because you can really turn girls on with just your personality. No need for having a perfect body. No need for having a perfect face. You know, height isn't actually that big. A lot of people say you have to be tall. Kanye West is 5'8". You know, he's not particularly tall. Yeah, sure, he's rich, but, you know, there's more going on. I mean, he's trying to date rich girls. So him being rich isn't technically an advantage. So it's like his wife makes more money than him, right? So how did he get that? Well, a lot of it is game, a lot of it is personality, and you can actually work on your personality. So I would really recommend guys that are watching this to be more attractive, be more manly, be more alpha, because the reality is most girls actually do want to be your fuck toy. They want you to dominate them. That's the reality with most girls, and if you don't want to dominate them, they can't be in a relationship with you. So what they're going to do is play these games, and it hard filters out men. It really filters out a lot of the betas. And this is where these things called the friend zone. That's why they exist, right? And frankly, guys, I think it's even more interesting, because if Twitter girl was not playing head games with me, I would have had no interest in her. How as an alpha male, how am I supposed to know who's the highest value girl? You know, it can be hard to tell. But it was pretty obvious for me, because she had the highest level mind games. And to me, that's extremely attractive. So I was like, okay, this makes her more attractive as an alpha male. Don't you think that's interesting? I think it's pretty interesting. That's why you got to start playing these games, and you got to win at these games, because it makes you more attractive. You're going to be less desperate. You're never going to worship girls again. You got to stop doing that. I'm pretty sure girls don't want to be worshipped in the wrong way. I think worshiping them is fine in the right way, but ultimately, no. I mean, come on, be realistic. How are you supposed to dominate a girl in bed if you worship her and she is a god? Like, it's not possible, right? It's not a possible thing. They literally need you to dominate them. Anyway, gamers, make sure to comment your thoughts below. Do you care about the political nature of this circumstances? Make sure to comment. Do you guys think I should have been talking about the political circumstances? Make sure to let me know if you thought I should have been talking about the political circumstances. The reason I wasn't is because I don't care about politics at all. I'm never going to do politics on this channel again. Do you guys think it was justified that now 2 people have been banned from GDQ for very loose, dubious claims of sexual harassment? Do you guys think it's justified that they should both be banned for really no reason? Anyway, gamers, let me know your thoughts on CDG and Marimba and the Cuddling Cringe of AGDQ 2019. We're off to a pretty good year. I'll see you guys later.